Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, NBC Stitcher. I'm Matt and this is Augie. It seems to be a running theme that every time I get up here to set up and film, he wants to get up on my lap. So this is the new intro apparently. So anyway, it's been 2 weeks. Today is Friday, September 28th in the evening. I am coming back to film at this time versus later on in the weekend, just because of what I have going on, and I also just was coming home from work and just realized I really want to do this. I want to get it, I want to get it all together. Let's get it out there, get everything. Also, when I pulled in and saw that I had mail, including some additional haul, I was like, well, better do it before more comes, because it's already a big pile. Anyway, so, and this is episode 9. Crap. I think that's right. If not, you'll know because the number is down there in the title. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. I've got some haul, as I was talking about. I have whips, I have no finishes, and I have some new starts. And then some plans, and yeah. I also, last week I talked about filming a book talk video. I've been working on that and getting it together, and I'm going to do it, I promise. I'm actually going to do it right after I do this one, so it should come up. It'll probably be the second one out, but I'm going to try and get it out this weekend. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. If you follow me on Instagram, I did post a more direct picture of little Mr. Augie here, so you can get an idea of what he looks like instead of just sitting here on my lap and looking outside and longingly at the different things. But anyway, so new starts is where we'll get started. First of all, let me show this. So this may be a key to an idea of what I got in haul, but this is my pain-free craft sal, and yeah, you ready? Nope. Okay. And this is from Pain-Free Crafts in the UK, and it's Paine, Paine, and they are doing a year-long stitch-along or sal for this piece of art from, I can't think of his name right now, but he did a whole series of the alphabet and different fantasy creatures, mythical creatures, and they are releasing a different letter every 2 weeks for all 52 weeks of the year, all 26 fortnights of the year, and the releases have now gone into P, Pegasus, Q. R may be out or maybe coming out this weekend. But I'm on K. I'm a little behind, so I was trying to get one of these done a week. I had started K 2 weeks ago, or I started K since my last Flosstube, and I got busy and decided to stitch on other things and just didn't put the time and effort into it, and so it didn't get done. But I am going to work on this weekend and get K finished and hopefully get some progress into L, which is less in depth than K is. It's smaller, so hopefully that goes by a little bit quicker. K has a little bit more to it. It's a kraken. This is kind of the head, and then it's got the tentacles, and then it's holding this ship and mast and breaking it apart kind of thing. And so I've got to fill in some more up here and down here. This pretty much is done, and then I'll have to do the back stitch and all that. So it looks like Mr. Augie may be wanting to leave soon, or he's just standing up. So anyway, And this is on 32 count white Jobelan, and I am doing this with a called for DMC. Alrighty. So I had another new start this week, and the title. Let's finish that stitch. So the name of the listing on Etsy is Little Fox or Fox, Baby Fox or something like that. And then the title on the actual pattern is like X61. So it's basically, it's a fox, and it's on a pattern of, it's on a, well, okay, so it was charted to be on this like shadow, and then there's some like plants that are coming up behind it, and it kind of has like a 60s mid-century retro theme kind of feel to the stylization of the plants and everything. And so I am doing this on 18 count white Aida. This is going to be a present for a friend of mine that is having a baby, and her and her husband, when I was looking through all their what they'd registered for, and they had a lot of stuff with foxes on it. I have done a couple of these for friends that have had babies in the last year or so, and so I wanted to do one for her as well. It'll have there are some like flowers that are up here. No, they're on this side, and I'm not going to do those. I've already cut those, and I changed the color out of the fox. I switched it to 606. It's a little bit more of a red than an orange. The called for, I don't remember what color of DMC it was, but when I was getting it at Michael's, it was super orange, and like way more like this color orange, which this is felt, but and so I was like, well, I don't want to stitch it that color. I want to go a little bit more red, and I saw the 606 and was like, that's what we're gonna do. And then this down here, this is Threadworks. This is number 1048, which is called Woodland Green. So it's a dark green variegated floss. Show you what it kind of looks like on the skein. Right there, you can see it. So this was supposed to be the same as this gray color. It also comes up and there's a big leaf of it. Hold on. Oh, he wanted to go. Okay, so so this green color, well, it was originally supposed to be gray, and it was like this big shadow, which kind of makes sense, but then it's also this giant leaf, and I was like, that don't make much sense to me, so I switched it out for this deep green variegated Threadworks, and I'm just going to do all of it there. I did keep the gray for the part of the fox's eyes and nose, and then there's another like plant thing that has like light gray and then dark gray, and I'm going to keep it for that up there, but I switched it out. So and then I'll probably do baby up here, and then their last name down here under it, and then I'm likely going to finish it in a hoop. So I did that with the other two that I did a while ago. So I've been using the outline and fill method with my fox here, which helps keep it, I can do it without having to look at the pattern. I can, it's very easy to do that with these big blocks of color patterns. I like doing that with those. So this is the same kind of technique, I think, that Erin on the Steel City Stitchers is notorious for, from them, and Jody also from the Steel City Stitchers has been doing it on her most recent whip. So I didn't do that with the Threadworks because it's variegated, I think you could. And also, when I do this, I'm not doing one X at a time. I'm doing my full line and then back and doing all that. So like this one, I went all the way to this end, and I am, I have this bottom, and I think there may be one line under this, a tiny amount, and then this may be it, and then I'll go back up and work this way. But I could do the outline of it, and but I didn't, and I'll just probably keep it like that. Anyway, keep going. And then the other big pieces on here, I'll do the same kind of thing, the outline method, and then it'll be easy filling it in. Okay, so there's that one, and that should be my last new start of since my last video. So I have, because I didn't stitch on Kraken, I have stitched on quite a bit of things, more than I think more than my last video, and that was for 3 weeks, and this is only 2 weeks of time. So let's just get into it. And there's some overlap from what I did last week, because there's some stuff I wanted to keep working on, and did that. This one, I may not have done much more, or I did. I think I did some more work on this one, but I don't remember if it was a lot or just a little bit. But this is Lady Catt from Nora Corbett. I'll put the pattern up because I have it here. So this is one of the Orchid Party ladies that is, one of her pixies. And I know I had the wings done. I think maybe I did this red part here. That may be what I worked on. But yeah, I am making some progress on this. I really like this pattern, and the stitching is really easy and nice. I think it was the Sunshine Stitchers that were talking about, maybe it was Gary, or maybe I'm mixing people up. I apologize if I am. But I have watched quite a bit of Flosstube in the last 2 weeks. But somebody was talking about the Nora Corbett's, or maybe it was Married with Stitches, about, maybe not. Anyway, that some people have mentioned that they're kind of intimidated by the Nora Corbett's or the Mirabilias, and I can say I felt that way when I first, because one of the first like non-Etsy and non-kit patterns that I ever bought was the Mirabilia, and I was like, oh, but I can't stitch that. Like, I need to be better at stitching before I even try to do that. And so it was a significant amount of time before I even kitted it up, and then a more significant amount of time before I started it. So I get that, but having worked on several now, I mean, I haven't finished any, and I haven't done the beading, so I'm not saying I'm an expert, but having done more, having worked on several of them, they're pretty straightforward. Her charting is pretty great, and they tend to have like chunks of color, or you can use the same color for a while. I'm not like a color completionist for the most part when I do it. I will carry thread sometimes, depending, but I am not like, oh, I gotta do all of this color and then go back and do something else, or do this line and then go back and do something different. I'm kind of like, I like using a color, using a strand length and going as far as I can on that, and then switching up to something else if I feel like changing to a different color or whatnot. And these are really great for that, because you can definitely get a good chunk of whatever you're working on. There's usually that color for quite a bit, and then you can move on to something else, and you get really good progress as it moves along. So That's Lady Catt. I think I just did a little bit more on her than I had done last week. Or last time I filmed. And yeah, so it's not a whole lot of progress there, but some. I don't want to do that. Okay, we'll just put this over here. This next one, I only did a little bit on, but for a little bit different reason. I think I had this in my last video too. This is Winter Deer by Stitchrovia, Emma Cogden. I got it off of her Etsy website, or Etsy listings. And what I worked on, I filmed in this cream color in the ear, and it's the same color over here, and I worked on that throughout the tree. That's just a little stitch, and kind of moved along and did all that. That's literally it. The reason why I worked on this is because I'd put up the project I was working on, and I was waiting for something to finish on my computer, and I saw this, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just start something there. And I did, and then I stopped, and then I haven't picked it back up. We'll see. I mean, I like this, and I want to keep working on it, but, you can't. If only we could stitch like 5 things at a time, I think, we would all be, I think we would be happier if it was physically possible. And, I mean, there may be people that is physically possible. Could that be the secret for Gary's like super fastness and the Sunshine Stitchers? I mean, I haven't seen him stitch, but supposedly Sheila has. Anyway, okay, so along those lines, I have, or not along those lines, sorry, that was a bad transition. Okay, this next one, I worked on some more. This is one of my Mirabilias. This is actually the first one I started. It was not the first one I bought, but it was the second one that I bought. And this is Deco Spirits. It's not like most of her other patterns. It is full coverage in like good size blocks of a pattern, and then there's 4 elemental ladies and inside those blocks. This is the air block. It's charted to be one big piece, but I'm doing them 4 individual pieces. This is, I forgot, sorry. Rewind. This is 18 count Aida in gray. There wasn't a name on it when I bought it, but this is from Bestitchme. I think it's kind of a blue-gray. This is looking a little bit more blue than, well, I mean, it looks like that in this light. But it's one of those where it's like you go in a different room or different light and it looks a little different. I think this may be kind of like her Huntress. No. Artemis? Artemis. I think it's Artemis. A Huntress is a green. Sorry. Artemis is the goddess of the hunt. So it flipped in my brain. But I think this is like her Artemis. So, no, sorry. It's been a week, and I mean, I'm glad it's Friday. Maybe I won't want to film like this again because I feel a little rambly already. Anyway, so yeah, 18 count, gray Aida, no name, but I think it looks like Huntress. No, Artemis, on Brandy's website. So, this Deco Spirits Air, this is by Mirabilia. It's on 32 count white lugana. I'm doing 2/1 full cross. I did switch out the black for a toile, 310, and then I am not doing Xrestyk, but I'm doing petite treasure braid for the metallics. And that's one of the things that I worked on a lot of. I did all this like silver metallic, I did more of the teal, I got to the corner down here and kind of worked my way up with some of this other colors. I did take out some black that was up here because she was wrong. And yeah, so this was the first one I started, and I think it's a little different because there's no beads, and it's full coverage, but it's still, the charting is pretty similar as far as like, you get good amounts of color. I mean, there's a little bit more blocks of color, I think, here than in other of her patterns. But I think it's coming along nicely. This is my Wonder Woman needle minder that I won from Bestitchme from a giveaway that she had gotten as a gift from one of her viewers. Several of them, and she was doing it as a giveaway. And I was one of the people that talked about my favorite superhero, so I got it. And so yeah, this is Mirabilia Lady Deco Spirits Air. Okay, this next one also had some frogging that I had to do, but I did get some progress on her too. So this is Ink Circles. This is Elemental Dragons Air. Several people are doing this on Flosstube. Christian at Married with Stitches / Fortnite Fabrics is doing this. It's different, we're not doing the same colors or anything, but I am also doing this on 40 count Verdal. The colorway is Earth by Bestitchme, and I'm using Weeks Dye Works Foliage as my floss, so not the called for, and then I'm doing it 1/2 full cross. Well, of course, full cross on this. And so I did a little bit more of the dragon back here on this side, and then there was a little dragon that looked like this one, but kind of going down here, and I had to frog him all out because, well, I didn't have to, but he was one complete stitch this way. So I frogged him. I thought about like fudging the like equivalent of this that comes over here. And then I was like, no, I'll just redo him. He's not that big. It's not that, but because I had to frog it, I didn't want to work on it anymore. So it got put in the pile of wait till I film. I don't know how everybody else does it, but I have like a bucket. Well, it's like a, plastic Sterilite tub that is my filming bucket that I put my projects in as I finish working on them for a while. Now I will pull stuff back out of there, but like it's this is easy for me to tell I worked on this. So I just put it in that bucket. And then when it's time, I bring the bucket out here, take the projects out, and then I flip the bucket upside down and put my camera on tripod on top of it. So it kind of is all useful. Anyway, a little behind the scenes there. Okay, so next up we have my forest owl. This is part of our owl bee stitching sow that Sambry Stitches, Becca and I are doing. We started it on August 13th, and there's not an end date or anything. Basically it's stitch on anything with an owl in it and tag us, use the hashtag owlbeestitching. It will be listed down below. And basically we wanted, hey, we like owl patterns. If you're stitching an owl pattern, you also like owls, follow the hashtag and see all the other owls. So this is, I don't have the pattern with me, but basically it's a silhouette of an owl, and then there's a forest kind of in it. We were talking about this. I had messaged her. She'd done a different one from the same person. This is by Stitchylittlefox on Etsy. She's the designer. And Becca had done a separate one of the same kind of pattern, but in a different, not an owl, but it was Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And so we were talking about that, and then we both had the owl, and it kind of went from there. There's this big dark color of this tree that kind of goes down the middle of the owl. I've been working on filling that in. It's this dark navy. I'm going to try to get that next time I work on it, get this tree finished. And then kind of, there's some like little bit lighter colors that, play off a little, they're few little spots and kind of just make my way around and kind of build out from this one. I did put in this lighter blue there because I wanted some variation. This is on an 18 count Aida from Bestitchme. There was the name of it was like Mermaid Green or something. It's not one of Brandy's like main colors now. This is one of the pieces I bought from her before Christmas last year, when she was still on Etsy, and way back. It's a really, really pretty color. I mean, this is really the color it is. I took a picture of this and posted it on my Instagram, and it came out a lot more teal because of the lighting, but it is this like forest green kind of look to it. And I love this fabric. I used the other portion of it for a different project for a coworker, and she loved it, and it's super great, and I really like it. I think this is maybe, I don't know, I don't know if this is quite Tree Hugger. I don't think it is. I think Tree Hugger is a little bit different, but it may be similar. Or Huntress, I think, is darker. So I'm not sure I'm sure Brandy could come up with this or figure it out, but she doesn't have like a color that this is, definitely, that I know of. But I may be wrong. If one of you all has something that you think that this would be similar to, feel free to chime in the comments. Alrighty, next one. This is my last whip, so we're moving along. This is also some overlap from last time because I worked on this project again. This is Welcome to Naboo. This is by Country Magic Stitch, and it is a full coverage piece of a vintage style travel poster to the Star Wars planet of Naboo. If you are not familiar or don't remember, the Naboo is the planet where Queen Amidala from The Phantom Menace, in the prequel trilogies, this is the first movie, the planet that is kind of the center of quite a bit of the action. And I always thought it was a really pretty architecture that they had for the planet and really great colors, and I liked it. So it's a great looking piece. It is full coverage, and this is 18 count white Aida, just the kind that you can get at Michael's. If you can find it. But when I got this, it was more plentiful than it is these days, it seems. And I think I did some more work here in this area and maybe filled in some more blue. But yeah, I am working. I pretty much have this bottom quarter done, and I'm trying to, or get close to that, to where I can move this over a little bit and kind of finish up the bottom maybe and start working up, but still work on this. Like, there's a lot of this blue. This blue is also down there, so I could probably finish up that Naboo. I'm about to finish a skein, and I am happy for it because I think I'm not a bobbinator, and I thread the way I prep my threads onto floss drops has evolved, and so the skein that I'm working from, they're a lot shorter lengths than I normally stitch with. So I'm excited to be done with that one, and I can go back to my now normal setting, I guess, on that. So it's a really fun piece. I know, made by Michelle McGraw. She just finished one of these that's a Lord of the Rings theme from the same designer, on Etsy, and I think hers was Visit Mordor, or it's Mordor. I don't remember what if it was Welcome to or Come Visit or how it was, but the designer has quite a few Lord of the Rings ones. There's a couple that I want to get and do as well. I think the next time I do one, I'm going to do it on a smaller count and do it in tent stitch instead of in the full cross, because it is quite a bit of stitching, and if you're only doing a half stitch or a tent stitch, then you're not it doesn't take as long to complete that, obviously. So I think that would be helpful, and I think if I, go down to like a 20 or 22 count, I would be able to do that, still get coverage, and account for that. So that's kind of my thought process this next time around, but we'll see. Okay, so that is the last of my whips. So I have plans for the future, and I have some haul. There's kind of some overlap, so I'm going to kind of go back and forth. Well, yeah, let's do that. So, okay. Well, let's first of all start off with, if you noticed when I held up my alphabet, this clamp, this is from a Lowry stand. I did get a Lowry stand. I need to say thank you for enabling to Noah Stitches. He is a newer Flosstuber, but I've been following him on Instagram, and he's great. And he recently, he's done 2 videos, I think, now, and he went to visit Derek and Christian at Fortnite Fabrics / Married with Stitches, and saw their stands, which I don't think are Lowry stands, but yeah, because they're Kay's Creation stands, and he enjoyed it, and then he got back and he got to his home and he got a Lowry stand, and I was like, that's a great idea. Also, Fire Poppies was doing their birthday sale, and the Lowry stands were not on sale, but they are the US distributor for Lowry stands. I'd been wanting to get one, and I had been kind of waiting because I wanted a colored one, not just a silver one, but they had several of the silver ones. They didn't have any of the colored ones and any of the blue ones that I was looking for, and so I was like, I don't want to wait. I just want to go ahead and get a stand. I want to try two-handed stitching, which is quicker, and I have limited stitching time in general, so I wanted to see if I could get something that would help me kind of speed that up and maybe get a little bit more done. So I have been, it came yesterday. It was by UPS, and it was very, it showed up. Everything else that came along with it showed up, and I've been very happy with Fire Poppies every time I've ordered from them. So this is no different. It was very easy to put together. The instructions were simple. I'm looking to get one of the corner clamp, I think is what it is. So the normal clamp that comes with it will work with a Q-snap, but sometimes, I think especially with a bigger thing, and I do have some big heids and stuff, that it may be because of the size and the weight distribution, the corner clamp may work better. So I would like to get that, and maybe I'll get that and the color one, and interchange them out that way. But I've been very happy with my Lowry, and I'm excited to use it more. This is only the second night that I've had it, so it's still pretty new. But yeah, so okay, that was that one, and then I'm going to talk about let me go with the thing that I got in the mail today. So it's kind of reverse order of when things arrived. But I was watching Erin 2 Martini Stitcher on her, I think it was her video from this week, or it could have been the one from last week, and I was late to watching that. I'm not sure. Anyway, she was talking about Cobweb Corner, which is an online needlework store, and Carla is the lady that runs it, and who's also a Flosstuber, so you can check out Carla's Flosstube. And she was talking about how she hadn't really ordered from her before, and had just gotten and placed an order. She had been looking for some specific colors, and Carla had them, and then also had some charts and some stuff, and so she was very happy with the service that she got there. And so I thought, well, I am looking for a particular color of Gentle Arts thread that is probably not going to be there, but I'll go ahead and look. And then she didn't have it. But then I thought, well, you know what? She does do a welcome code that applies to, it doesn't apply to floss, but it'll apply to charts and kits and embellishment packs, and so a bunch of things. And so I picked out some stuff and I used the code that is there on the website, and the shipping was reasonable. The service, the time I got it, it came very quickly. I'm very happy with everything so far. So yeah, it was great. She had quite a few different embellishment packs for memorabilia or Nora Corbett's. So if you need some of those, she has some of them. She had some, fat quarters of fabric that's like from Witchelt. So that, if you're looking for something like that, you may try her out. She had quite a bit of Weeks Dye Works floss. I got kitted up something from that. She has a lot of stuff, so go check her out. I was very happy with what I got, and I'm probably going to get some more stuff from her in the future. So first up, I got Miss Christmas Eve embellishment pack from Mirabilia. This is one that I had bought the pattern for sometime in the last 5 months, because it seems like I've bought all of these things in the last 5 months. But I have a plan. I don't have the floss, but I have fabric that I want to stitch her on, and I think it would be something fun to do of this Christmas, and so I wanted to go ahead and get the embellishment pack, should I get that far, or for when I get that far, let me put it that way. But yeah, that was really nice. I also bought a couple patterns. I bought Mari, who is a Nora Corbett, one of her witches, and this is one of the ones that has an owl in it. Probably why I bought it, but she's a nice witch, and she has a little owl that she has on her hands, and so I also ended up getting the embellishment pack for her as well. So that was a nice deal there. I also, from her, I got, this is a Plum Street that I'd been looking for. This is Fox View. Sorry about the glare. Well, it's kind of in the shadow, but it's basically 3 foxes stacked on top of each other. And it's finished in a little pillow. I have no idea if I do that, but I have Rack Stack, I think. I don't know if I have any others, but this is one. I like foxes, so I wanted to get this. If you watch Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph, earlier this year there was or a couple months ago, there was a fox family that was in their yard, and everybody was like, oh, you need to stitch this, and Steph didn't want to stitch something that everybody's stitching, but I was like, oh, what is this? Yeah, I would like to stitch that. So it was out of stock for quite a few places that I had looked, and so she had it, and it was a good price, so I decided to go with that. And then the next one, I bought several Weeks Dye Works. I'm going to show you. This is not, I didn't buy the pattern. So from Fire Poppies, in part of their birthday sale, they had all of their charts and kits 20% off. And so I bought this Ink Circles, which is Little Alien Schoolgirl. It is, essentially a sci-fi version of a sampler. And it's all charted in Weeks Dye Works, and then there's DMC as well. I have seen this, I don't know if there was glare, sorry. I've seen this, Derek of Married with Stitches is doing this, and I'm not, well, I mean, I've heard every floss tuber, I think, say, don't say that you're not this kind of stitcher, because then in a year or whatever you are. But in general, there's not. There's a lot of samplers that I see that are just not things that I normally stitch. But this kind of tied in something that I do like. So, sci-fi, alien, I think this is cute. And I wanted to try it with the full week's dye works. So I bought this from Fire Poppies, and then from Cobweb Corner, I got all of the week's dye works that goes with it. So I'm not going to pull it out yet, but I don't know. I have an idea maybe for some fabric, but we'll see. Okay, so that was Cobweb Corner. Then, so I made 2 separate orders from Fire Poppies. The first one had the little alien schoolgirl as a pattern, and then I also bought, I think, yeah, this one. Maybe 3. Well, I don't remember. It's bad at me. But I know I got this one from them. I don't think this other one was. I think that was from somewhere else. But I bought another Mirabilia because, they might run out. Well, they do go out of print sometimes, and so, I mean, that's at least my excuse, I guess. But this is At the Met, which is a gorgeous lady. I'm probably going to do a skin color conversion on her. She's kind of got an Egyptian theme to her, but also kind of like a 1920s kind of look to her. But I think she would be gorgeous as a beautiful woman of color. So I think I'm going to change her up a little bit, and then may do some other changes as well. But she's, I don't know, where's 2014. So, yeah, so that was that's a 2014 Mirabilia at the Met. And then, so that was the first round. And I think that may have been it. I did get some DMC that went into what I was kitting up, and I don't keep that in, I don't put that in the box. But then my second round, I had to get another Mirabilia because, well, I did. So this is one of the Royal Games, which are the the Queen cards. There's also, this is Diamond and Clubs, and then there's Spade and Hearts. It's the other set. And I have seen these, I haven't actually, well, I've seen somebody stitching them on Instagram, but I like games, and I think that is a fun thing. But I had this is a crazy idea. I don't know if it's going to happen. But when I got this, is like, okay, how can I make this a little bit more, diverse or inclusive? What can I do to make some changes? I was thinking, yeah, I can do some skin color conversions. And then I was like, well, it's not just diversity of skin color. I mean, I think that should happen as well, but I think also it'd be nice to include people, other communities, my people, the gays, LGBT people, that I think would be nice to include, and nod to that. And I was like, these are all queens. What if I change these to like drag queens that I love? That made me think, oh, that's a brilliant idea. So who knows if I'm actually going to get around to doing that. I don't know when I'm going to start this, or obviously that would take some recharting of some faces. I'm thinking like Trixie Mattel, that would be some very hard transitions. She has a very defined makeup look, and I think she would be one. I also, Shea Coulee, who just won All Stars 5 of Drag Race. She would be beautiful. Evie Oddly, although I don't know how I would. She would be Shangela, also great queen. there's quite a few people. Latrice Royale would be beautiful. Manila. There's quite a few, and it's mostly RuPaul's Drag Race because that's the people I'm most, the queens that I most see, I guess. But yeah, so I'm thinking of playing around with that, maybe coming up with 4 different queens, and to have them as the Queen of Diamonds, the Queen of Spades. Manila did a version of her and her husband when they were doing the Drag Race makeover look for All Stars 4. Yeah, yes, yes. That they were like her and her husband were 2 queens of suits of the deck. So maybe that would be good. That would, we'll see. I have no idea when I was going to do that, but that was just an idea that I was like, wouldn't that be amazing? It would. It would take a lot of work, and I'd have to figure it out. But, I mean, luckily there's things like Lord Libidan's, skin color conversion or skin color palette information to changing up DMC colors. So it's totally doable. I just would have to put the work into it. So that's one of the half of Royal Games. This is number 2. They only had number 2, but I've seen number 1 flying around with some other people, so maybe I'll get that the next time. Okay, then I also got Tiny Modernist, what was this? Unicorn Tapestry. Right, so this is I think it was a market release this year, maybe? Yeah, 2020. So yeah, this was market release for Tiny Modernist. It's a beautiful pattern. Parkhopper Bart is doing it. His looks great. And the unicorns, the colors here. I think I would do something of pretty similar color of the fabric. So it calls for Zweigart and Mediterranean Seat. It says S-C-A-T, Seat. Is that right? Maybe it's C? Maybe it's Seat. I don't know. I haven't seen that fabric before, but, well, they're kind of sitting down, so maybe it is Seat. Anyway, that is Unicorn Tapestry from Tiny Modernist, and it is charted in DMC, and there's an anchor alternative. But yeah, that would be great. It's also, so it's just I'm not going to show the pattern, but you can see that it's all in one. Well, I mean, there is an overlap, but like, this would be nice. This would be easy to scan or make a working copy of, because it's just one page, essentially one big page. So that's cool. And all right, is this my last pattern? Maybe. I think this was from 123 Stitch. So yeah, I don't think this one was from Fire Poppies. I think I got this one first, is one of the things. Okay, so this is another Nora Corbett of her witches, Minerva, which is another one that has an owl. The Minerva was the Roman goddess of wisdom. She's the Roman equivalent of Athena. And so the owl makes perfect sense for her. And the name of Minerva, Minerva McGonagall is also the same line. I mean, she's not the goddess of wisdom, but she's pretty darn smart. So, I'm sure there's some name some correlation there for the choice of name for Professor McGonagall. But yeah, this is, and that may be, it kind of looks like that kind of idea of her. So, I don't know, maybe I would do something with like, maybe it would be fun to add like a trim or something that would be kind of like the Gryffindor colors, because that was her house that she was head of. Maybe not, I don't know. It's just random ideas I'm rambling on about. Okay, so next, I am doing the Dark Queen of the Seas Sal from Autumn Lane Stitchery, which is starting on Tuesday, September 1st. I did get the fabric, which is the called for is Bewitched, and it's by Under the Sea Fabrics, Leslie. And I got the Jobelan. I like an even weave more than I do a linen, and I did not want to get. I wanted to do an even weave over doing an aida, and you know, the linen and the aida is a lot darker, but this is just a gorgeous fabric. I think, you know, this is going to be great. If you're doing this, make sure you join the Facebook group. Leslie put up some information about some kind of the general way that the pattern is laid out. So when you're trying to figure out what orientation you want, you know, she gives a good idea of like, I don't know, I'm not sure that, I think she said most of the, there's a lot of stitching at the bottom, but less at the top. So if there's an end that you really like, you know, kind of the modeling or the effect or whatever, that maybe you should have that be your top end. I think, I didn't look at it since yesterday or the day before when I saw it. So go check it out, because don't take my word for it, because I may be off, and I don't want you to do the opposite of what it is. But this is gorgeous. I'm excited. This is my first time ordering from Leslie, but I'm very happy with this fabric. I also ordered another piece from her, so I wanted to try out something else. It is also a Jobelan though. I've been liking the Jobelan, so this is Icicle, which is, it's kind of a little bit more purple, but it is like supposed to be like a light blue with lavender hints. It's a little bit, it's more lavender, I think, but it is still gorgeous. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do on this, but I can definitely find something. There's quite a bit of those Nora Corbetts or Mirabilia ladies that would be gorgeous on this, so I am sure I will find something. And it is also a 32 count Jobelan, and it's a full fat quarter, so I've been happy with that. I did also get the bead pack. I'm not going to take it, well, this is the thread pack, but I also got the thread pack and the bead pack from Leslie for the stitch along, and then and the bead pack as well, which comes with the beads and then a little beading needle. And several people have shown this, and they got like a little duck. Mine's a little giraffe felty thing that is holding the beading needle. Isn't that cute? I don't really like orange, but that's a other thing. I'm not as bad as some people I know, but it's still a cute giraffe, and I really like him. So, I mean, I used orange on that, so don't listen to me. Okay. These are not haul. These got in there as I was adjusting some other stuff. I've shown this before. Okay. I did get my fabric of the month from Brandy Bestitchme. This, I'm in the colorful group. She does colors and she does neutrals. And then I also do a even weave, and I have been doing Lugana. I may switch it to Jobelan, because I really like her Jobelan. It's really soft. It's gorgeous always. And you know, there is a difference between the way the two different even weaves dye up, but you know, in general it seems like the Jobelan is a little bit more blended with the different modeling and colors, versus the Lugana you can kind of get a little bit more of a contrast, but it's still gorgeous. This is Lotus, and it's a light purple lavender color with some modeling. It's pretty similar to this Icicle, although it's lighter, but this looks like a little more blue. It's not. I don't know. Sorry about the lighting. We're losing the natural light, and you're getting more of my light from my ring light and other things that I have in my house. Because since I was filming, I was like, I'm going to turn on every light that could possibly be around here. So, not that I think most of them have anything to help here, but, you know, it doesn't hurt. Except for my light bill, I guess. Anyway, so yeah. Then I also got, so that's the only fabric I got from her. I ordered some more, and I did participate in Friday Night Fight Night last Friday. And so I'll show that when that comes in, but it hasn't arrived yet. So I got my first shipment, my first nest egg from 3 Owl Threads. I think it's still closed, but there is like a waiting list Google form you can get on from Trisha. I think it's Trisha at 3 Owl Threads. And so I'm doing the Threadworks pack. And so the way this works is there's different choices. She was closing it because there's delays from different dyers and hard to get the raw materials for dyers to dye, and so there's kind of a backlog of quite a bit of stuff, especially Gentle Art, Classic Colorworks. You know, it's not the easiest thing these days. But I'm doing Threadworks, which is, and I'm doing the cotton floss. I think that it's only cotton that she's doing the nest egg for, but you can get 20-yard skeins, and so I'm doing that. I have bought several other Threadworks skeins from 123 Stitch or other places, and I've been very happy with stitching with them, and I want to build up a stash of that brand. So I went ahead and signed up for that. And you get 10 skeins. You pay at the beginning of the month, and then she gets them together and ships them out. You get 10 skeins, and they're kind of in alphabetical order by the name. Or they are usually. Sometimes, if she had to skip something, she will go back and fill it in later. But I don't think that that's happened to me. But so I got, let's see. So this one is Blueberry Ice. It's gorgeous light blue. Then we have this 1082. This is Cabbage, which is it's a green to a yellow to a white, which is really pretty. It's kind of, you know, kind of changes color from like, well, it's a little darker than like a green cabbage, but to the yellow of a green cabbage and then the white part of a green cabbage. You know, that's a good name for it. And then this is 1095, which is Cactus Flowers. And this is a gorgeous light green to white to pink variegation. And that may not be the easiest thing to see. Okay. And then I got 11384, which this is Bikini Blue. Woohoo! I don't know. Which is a gorgeous royal blue, variegated. I mean, it's all blue, but it just kind of is it goes from light to dark, but all in the blue. Royal kind of electric category. 1030. This is Buttercream, and yeah, that's a good color. It's, you know, a gold to or light cream, you know, yeah, buttercream. I mean, it looks like buttercream. You got the a little bit of creamy yellowness to it, and then yeah, and then this is 10761, this is Butterscotch and Cherries. So it is a pink to brown, light brown, butterscotch color to like a light. It's not, well, it does get kind of dark, but it's not a real dark red cherry color. But yeah. And then this is 1013, which is Blue Lagoon, and it goes from a dark blue to a white. So it kind of has a different variation to it, but yeah, it's and that's kind of the thing that one of the things I like about Threadworks is they have a lot of different variations or variegations that are not, that go kind of more than what other brands have, and is something different. So I wanted to get it so I can kind of play around with it. This is 1006 Berry Nice, which goes from a light pink to a kind of fuchsia, dark pink, almost a mauve, maybe. I'm not the best at describing colors, but I mean, I don't work at a paint store, and I haven't. My retail experience never involved that kind of thing. But okay, so this is, the next one is 1084, which is Black Forest, and this is a dark green. It goes to a black or dark brown. So that is, it's also, I thought about using this for that fox piece that I'm doing, but I ended up going with the woodland color that I had. So this next one is 1089, which is called Bleeding Hearts, which is really nice. You know, this might be a contender for the fire elemental dragons. I still need to order that pattern, but so we'll take that. We might look at that again because I have some discussions. Okay, so that was my nest egg, those 10, and this is the first one I got. Been very happy. You pay it the first of the month, she gets them together and sends them out. This came sometime last week, not this week, so I've had it for a while. Yeah, it's really very happy with that. I don't know that, as I said, I think it's closed, but when she's normally, the other ones that she do are like Xrestyk, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, Gast. I don't know what. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what all ones that she does, but those are definitely in there. So check those out sometime, if that's something. And there's some other people you can. Julie, Kansas City Girl in Colorado World, has talked about Ancora Crafts, which is on Etsy, and she carries a lot of different threadworks, different kind of palettes that you can get a whole bunch of these skeins that kind of go together, or a whole bunch of blues, a whole bunch of greens, reds, that kind of thing. Or like, this is a Halloween palette or a rainbow palette. You know, if you're looking for something like that, that's a great place to look as well. I don't think the numbers are listed there, but you know, she has pretty good pictures of all of them, and so, you know, try that out too. Okay, so I did get 2 other threadworks from 123 Stitch in my order that when I got Minerva. This one is 1042, and I'm pretty sure this is Desert Sunset. So this is one that I got thinking this might be a good idea for my Elemental Dragons Fire. It's a little bit more brown than I was thinking, so I don't think it's going to work for that, but it's still gorgeous. I mean, it's like a dark brown to light brown with a red hint to it. It's great. I kind of wanted it to have a little bit more red to it than be as brown as it is, but it's still gorgeous. And then, oh, that's why I thought it was a good idea. So I also got another Bleeding Hearts. So this is 1089. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is a dark red to brighter red. I had just seen it on the list of threadworks, and I thought, oh, that might be a good idea to try, see if that would be something. And then I got it in my, my nest egg, and I also thought, oh, that's a good idea. Didn't realize that I have 2 of them now, but it's really pretty, so I'm sure I'll find something else to use for it if it doesn't end up. I wouldn't need 40 yards of it to do Elemental Dragons Fire, unless I don't know, maybe if I was doing it on like a giant piece of pegboard or something, maybe that would, but that would be huge. So anyway, okay. I did, when I was ordering from 123 Stitch, I ordered some other fabric as well, just to get some little pieces of some things. I picked up, this is a 32 count Phoenix Lugana from Picture This Plus. I've used this before on some other things. I like this red. It's a good fabric that I've enjoyed for Christmas stuff. It's just, so I got a little 8x12 that I can use for something. So yeah, it's you know, you can use quite a bit of different things to do that. I also got a piece of gingerbread Lugana, 32 count, from Picture This Plus in the same size. It's also, I hadn't bought this before, but it is a gorgeous brown. You know, the modeling is there, but not super, it doesn't take over. So that's nice if, you know, sometimes you're looking for something like that. And then I bought, this is, I think, Vintage Stormy Night. The tag fell off somewhere, the little sticker, but this is a 13 by 18, and I'm pretty sure this is Lugana. Yeah, because it's Zygote. So I think this is Vintage Stormy Night. You know, this is one of the ones that has the printed side to it and then the non-printed side. So, you know, you could stitch on this side or this side, but, you know, this is the one that has the modeling to it. So, and this is, I've done the Vintage Country Mocha, but I wanted to see what some of the other ones were. The next one is also one that I wanted to try out. This is 32 count Silvery Moon, and this is also a 13 by 18, and so it's a nice silver, white, or you know, light gray, so it's a nice color. Definitely could use something on that. And then I got a 32 count Summer Sky Jobelan. I've got this before. It's a nice little, and this one's kind of a little bit lighter in the variegation. This is also 32 count. Well, maybe it's the same. Maybe I think I'm conflating it with another piece that's from Brandy. And so, yeah, this is the same 32 count Summer Sky. It's just a white with a little bit of light blue to it. Gives you a little bit of cloud look to it. It's a nice fabric. Very easy to stitch on, in my opinion. For me, I mean, I know that some people, when they're stitching on Jobelan, you got to be careful because it's easy especially if you pull your stitches really tight. It's a little bit easier to slip the thread your thread under a thread, and you know, make it look wonky or cattywampus. The only other thing that I got, and this is from Cross Stitch Boutique. This is a part of an order that I didn't get the first time she sent me stuff. This was on back order, and so she was going to send it separately. And this is Petite Treasure Braid in PB09, which is a nice teal color. Sorry about that's not well. A light blue teal. This is one of the colors that I'm using in my Deco Spirits. Sorry. And I wanted to get another card of it because I think I was going to run out. This first time I'm using the Petite Treasure Braid. It's pretty easy to work with. I've used Xrestyk, I think, in some Dimensions kits as like use it with something else or use it as a back stitch. And it seems to be easier to work with than that. I have not used the like light effects or the DMC that is I think been referred to as the devil's pubic hair or something along those lines. I've never used that, and the stories I've heard, I don't want to. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with this. I may give Xrestyk a chance at some point, but my LNS, the main reason I wanted to try this is because I went to my LNS to see if they had the Xrestyk, if I could use that. They didn't. They had some, but they don't carry the full line, and they just had random ones. But they had the full line of this, and lady that was helping me was like, well, most people just switch over to the petite treasure braid, and you can, there's a thing online on their website, and you can use that to do that. So I pulled out my phone and found the conversion chart on Rainbow Gallery's website and started getting stuff. So, let me see. Yep, I think that's about it. So yeah. Okay, so that was all the haul. I do want to go over some of my plans. I know we're already at an hour and 10 minutes, so Augie's also come back over because he's like, are you done yet? What are we doing? It's not time for his treat. Sorry, I can't say that very loudly because he knows the word and he will get excited. He has a device that is spherical. Some might call it a ball, and you put dog in it, treats, and he rolls it around and he eats, and they come out. We put frozen green beans because he does not need to eat more treats. So we've been doing frozen green beans for probably the last year or so, and he loves those. And so that is what he gets, but it's usually a little bit, about an hour from now is usually when he gets that. So that doesn't mean he won't start asking for it, but I mean, I can ask him, go get your blank blank, and he will go find it and bring it to me. Or if it's stuck somewhere, he will go find it and whine at it until I go move the chair or move the sofa so he can get it, or whatever, or get it out for him. But the joys of being a dog parent. And okay, so plans, not just with Augie, but okay, so today started the new Owl Forest Embroidery Sal. Owl Forest Embroidery is a needlework company. They do kits, they do patterns, they have their own flosses, and I don't know that they're dyeing linen or fabric, but I think they mostly just use Zweigart, like colored linen. But they do a lot of different things. They are in Russia, I think, and so they have quite a bit of free patterns on their website. You can also buy digital patterns on their website, and you can order kits sometimes. The kits, sometimes they run out of stuff, so you have to be careful. It's a highly valued commodity, I guess. But they did a free stitch along last year, and they are doing another one this year. And it started today. The first pattern came out today, and it is called 100 Owls. I think it's their 100th project as well. They're also their owl forest, so there's a lot of owls in a lot of their patterns, and owls are significant to them. And so they're doing a stitch along that has a whole bunch of different owls in it. I don't know that it will have 100 of them, but there's going to be quite a few. And the first one came out today. You can get the pattern on their website. There's a way to change it. Well, yeah, so it kind of makes sense, even if you don't know Russian, and I don't know Russian, but there's a way to change it into English. If you're looking at it like on a computer on like Chrome or something, Google Translate will translate it to make it make sense, and you can find the pattern or find the free patterns or free charts, and that it'll be probably the first one on there. But I hadn't heard about this. I hadn't seen anything about it until like last week, and Becca, Sambry Stitches, and I both were told about it around the same time, and we had just started our Sal, and darn it, my phone is what's videoing. A lovely Instagrammer had sent me a private message about this, and it's like, hey, have you seen this? like, no, I need to. So I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, and it's a pretty big piece. And when I was playing around with the calculator, I noticed that you kind of needed, if you wanted to do like 32 count, it would fit on a fat quarter, but you would have a tighter margin. You couldn't fit it on like 3 inches on both sides, I don't think. So I was thinking, well, you know, I don't know if there's going to be fractionals or not, or maybe I have no idea. So I'm going to, but I thought, oh, I have this beautiful green fabric that I bought in a Friday Night Fight Night, and it's a 40 count verdal even weave, and it's tree hugger, and this is just gonna be gorgeous. So I did do a floss toss to make sure this would actually work, and I think it will. So I'm doing the DMC. They dyed their own variegated over-dyed floss, but I think it's sold out already. I don't know if they're going to get more, but it was sold out when I was looking at the website. I wasn't really going to get it, I don't think, but it does give you they do have pictures, so you kind of get an idea of what it is. And so yeah, that's what I'm going with. There is a light green that is kind of close, but I think it's going to be okay. It kind of, you can see that. I can't see you, but yeah, it stands out. I think in person, it's not going to be that bad. If I'm stitching along and I need to change that one color, I will make an adjustment and make it stand out more. So I'll figure that out if I need to. But everything else is going to look great on it. The dark green's going to stand out. Yeah, we're going to be good. So I'm excited to do that. I will have, I think I still, even on 40 count, it's going to be like 2 inches and like and 3/4 on both sides. So you need to check your fabric. I think, I don't know this, I haven't ever bought one of their kits, but if I remember correctly, Coffee Stitcher, when he was doing his, he is doing, I think, the Atlantis. There's a 3-part Atlantis or something like that, under the sea kind of theme one, and his the margins are tight on the fabric they give you when you get a kit, I think. I don't know, that's what it looks like when I've seen people stitching it, but I don't really know that. I haven't measured anything. I'm not saying that that's the way it is, but it seemed that way. And I think I've seen some people that have switched out the kit linen for something else. And yeah, so I'm excited to get that started. I haven't started it yet, but I will. And okay. And there's a whole stitch along listed there, and I'm running out of battery. I may not be able to do I'll finish this, but I may be a little bit on my book video. I may have to do it. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll still try to do it tonight. Okay, so I got another. Well, I bought several patterns on Etsy. I don't always show those because I don't always print them out, and I don't have a color printer. So, but Noah Stitches, who I was talking about earlier, he did he was doing a piece. She might be done. Or maybe not. No, I don't think he's done with her yet, but it's for the Diversity Matters Sal, and I'm not diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion Sal and Representation Matters Sal, which are 2 separate hashtags, but you can use. They're both the same kind of idea that people are doing. The idea of changing a cross stitch pattern to be a person of color or something along those lines. and or stitching a piece that is charted that way. And he found a beautiful woman chart that's called Patriotic, and the designer is Singy Stitch. I believe her name is Rachel Aaron. No, that's an author. Rachel Moore. Sorry. Rachel Aaron is an author, or I think that of a book that I'm reading. But Rachel Moore, and so she's on Etsy. Her shop name is Sengi Stitch. SENGISTITCH. And so I went to look at that and see that pattern. She also has a few other ones, and I think Michelle G. Bendy Stitchy has shown this one too. But when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's just, I want to do that one. So this is, she has two in this kind of series. One is I think not a woman of color, or, but these are, they're named after fruits, and it's like, okay, well this one's called Blueberry, and this is a beautiful woman of color that she has a beautiful dress that's in this blueberry color. You can see her information there. And then it's got beads, it's got, you know, in her hair she has what looks like kind of, I don't know if you can, they have it kind of like beads and little blueberry leaves, and so there's beads, and then there's this back stitch to kind of fill in the background there that you do, and I thought that she's just gorgeous. There's also Watermelon Woman. She is not a black woman. That would probably not be a good idea, although I think Rachel Moore is a woman of color, so, but anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and show you a picture. I do not have her, but this is the Watermelon Woman that is also beautiful. And I like this one too. I thought about doing it at some point. I may get it to do it at some point as well. But that is, yeah, she's gorgeous too. But I wanted to do the Blueberry Woman. And this is, I'll go ahead and show you, this is the one that Noah did. It's not his, but this is the pattern, Patriotic. And you can, he talked about it in his second video, if you want to go watch him, a whole thing about it, and he came up with a name for her and everything for his version, and the story behind that. Oh, I forgot something else. But anyway, so, he's doing it again. Okay. So I went through my fabric, and I had kitted up something with this fabric, and I was like, I haven't started it yet. I think I have a better fabric for that one, and then this would be better for this Blueberry lady. So this is 32 count African Daisy Jobelan from Witchelt, and it is a gorgeous yellow mottled Jobelan. It is not super bright. It looks more bright here. It's a little bit more muted, I think, in person. So I think this is what I'm going to do the Blueberry lady. I think it'll look great, and you know, that color will play off of the yellow, and and so yeah, so that's the plan. I don't know when I'm gonna start it, but I wanted to switch that up. So what I had pulled that from, I had kitted up the You Can Do It pattern that was a freebie by Arden Punt. She put it up on Instagram. I think you can still get it up there, I think. But it is, there's 4 different versions of it, but there's a woman of color in kind of the Rosie the Riveter style pattern. And I had kitted everything up to do this as part of the Representation Matters Sal, and I just had not gotten around to starting it. I mean, I've got the floss and everything, and I was going to use, well, I was waiting for that fabric to come in, and then it did come in, and then I still didn't start it. But I have this gorgeous tea rose fabric that came from Fortnite Fabrics a couple of months ago that is a little bit brighter, but I think that will look good as well for her. It'd probably look good on the Blueberry Lady too, but I wanted to kind of just change it up a little bit. This is a little bit brighter, and yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get her started some point. I don't know. Probably I should get this started, but I have so many things started. I think several of us have this, serial starter problem and trying to get things done and not wanting to get overwhelmed, and all that. So, I mean, I don't really feel overwhelmed. I just kind of continue to look up at the shelf that I have my projects on, and just like, that's a lot of them. I don't know when I'm going to finish all of these. And, I mean, I feel like I've got some things that I'm focusing on, and then there's a lot of other stuff that is there, but I'm not necessarily stitching on it definitely not every week, not every month, maybe every 2 months, maybe. I mean, there's some stuff I started in May for Mania and I haven't touched, so I'm new. I consider myself new to non-monogamous stitching and just trying to find my way. But yeah, so the last thing that I want to talk about, the Elemental Dragons Fire pattern has come out. This is from Ink Circles, and I have the water and the air, and I've started Earth, and so I'm doing all 4 of them on 40 count verdal, and I have Augie. Hey, come here. Come here. No, drop it. Pardon me. Hey. He wants attention. He got a plastic bag and ripped it apart in front of me and looking at me because he wants me to pay attention to him. So we're gonna have to, I'm gonna get back to what I'm saying, and then we're gonna be done, and this is gonna be an hour and a half, and that's that. Okay, so I have ordered a piece of fabric that, in the verdal, but I have a different count of it. And this is Phoenix by Bestitchme. Brandy. I got this on a Friday night fight night. This is a 27 count Linda, which I haven't stitched on before, but I think it would be fun to do something either over 2 or maybe over 1 on this. This would be, I know Annie, Joyfield Stitcher, she's done started several pieces on this Linda and really likes the Linda. And both like over 2 and over 1. So, I mean, it's not that much different, I think, than 28 count. And that's not my favorite thing to stitch on. Well, I like 28 count more than I like 14 count Aida, but I still think it's, I'm interested. But this is the color, essentially, of what I'm going to do. The verdal will be a little bit different. It'll probably be a little bit more muted than this. But, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out a red, yellow, maybe, or just, no, that's too similar. And, that might, but that's still, I don't think so. But, so this was the Bleeding Hearts. That might work. I'm going to have to figure it out when it comes. But, yeah, so I said I got that Desert Sunrise? Desert Sands, maybe? From Threadworks that didn't end up looking quite like I wanted it to. But I was, if anybody else uses Threadworks or some other, like a Weeks or a Classic Colorworks or something that's like a red. I'm kind of thinking like a red to yellow or red to brown. I want it to stand out from this, but something that definitely has a red feel to it, because I want it to be kind of fiery, but not like this end of fire, but you know, something a little different. So if you can think of, if you have any suggestions on some colors that I should look at or check out, let me know. That's that. And I wanted to say thank you again to everybody that has come and spent some time with me. I know this is at the end, so quite a few people I'm sure aren't seeing this. But I am going to do, those of you that did stick around, good job for you. I'll probably mention this on the next one because I don't think, maybe a little bit before I do this. But I wanted to go ahead and do a giveaway. I have, so as you've seen on several of my projects, I have agate needle minders, you know, like a cut geode disc type thing. And let me show you. So like here, so like this one, this is a blue one, and it so I have quite a few of these. I made quite a few before I got some actual needle minders from other people, but I made my own. And then I have some more that I haven't actually made into needle minders. So I want to give one away. There's several different colors. There's blue ones, there's purple, there's pink, there's yellow. I can make a yellow one. I think I have a yellow one. Or a green. It's kind of more like a turquoise look to it than like a green. But and a brown. So this is like the blue one. Get a look to it. And I will say, let me warn you all. So when I made these, I didn't use the like round magnets. They are rare earth magnets, but they are rectangular. So, you know, it's like that, and then there's a second one. And these are the kind of magnets that I got. They work great. I love them. They're not the like flat round, look like a you know, watch battery type look to them. They sometimes will, I've been pretty happy with them. I've had to like re-glue a couple of them, but a lot of them I've worked for very long, and I haven't had to do anything with them. So if that is something that you would like, I would please leave me a comment and use the word agate, and then tell me what kind of color you would like, and I'll do a drawing and do all that, and get some information from you and get it out there. So there's lots of different colors. There's blue, there's pink, there's purple, there's brown, there's like yellow, then there's some like aqua turquoisey color as well. And so if you would like one of those, make sure you say agate and the color that you would like. And I will do a drawing and figure out who's going to win and all that. So, but yeah, and I probably will talk about this on my next video, and then do, not my book video, but my next Flosstube, and then do this like, maybe the video after that I'll do the drawing. But anyway, so yeah, so thank you everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Keep on that stitching, and you know, I have no idea, I haven't developed a sign off yet. I keep forgetting about it. But anyway, yeah, so let me know if you'd like a needle minder. I'm gonna make some, well, I have some made already, and then I have some that I have the materials to make a few more. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in the comments with that. Make sure that you are over 18, so that you're legally allowed to give me your address. Do not say giveaway or I'll delete your comment. Just say, I would like whatever. And you can have the word, you can use it creatively as well. As long as you have the word agate and then a color somewhere in your comment. They don't even have to be next to each other. I'll confirm this with you to make sure that you're getting the right one when I get your information of where to mail it. But yeah, and then we'll go from there. And I think, well, I don't think I have, I think I'll, I'm not going to limit this to just the US because I think I will be able, this is not a very big thing and I should be, well, yeah, I should be fine. We'll make it work. So this is not limited to US viewers. If you would like one, we'll get in contact on the details or whatever, but we should be able to do that, and then do the shipping. I should be able to do that. So yeah, you do not have to just be in the US. Make sure you're over 18. Say agate and a color. Do not say giveaway. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. All right, everybody, have a good one. Bye.